I could see the finish line. At the start of the final lap, the clock read 9 minutes and 2 seconds. I was closer than I had ever been to accomplishing the goal that had eluded me my entire high school running career. I had to run 400 meters in 58 seconds or better in order to break the 10-minute mark for 2 miles. With sweat running down my face and into my eyes, I could barely see my dad cheering me on in the stands. When I passed by him with 100 meters to go, the only words I could hear him scream through the commotion of the race were, "Go for it, Adam!" I stole one final look at him and sprinted like I had never sprinted before. As I crossed the finish line, I had just enough time to look at the clock to read a time of 10 minutes and 19 seconds. Immediately, I was overcome with disappointment. However, when my dad came down to the finish line, he did not look upon me with disappointment or humiliation, but rather gave me a loving hug and told me how proud he was to be my father. Steve Prefontaine, an American record holder in track and field, once said, "To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift." This quote has been the mantra of my father for as long as I've known. My dad, a former track and field All-American, had always acknowledged his gift. When he was just 13 years old, he ran his first full marathon. And by his senior year in high school, he had run the fastest high school 2-mile in the United States. He had instilled in my 2 younger brothers and I not only a great love for the sport of running, but the determination to do our best in whatever we do. It was easy to imagine myself following in my dad's footsteps and choose to run in high school. However, I quickly learned that I had bigger shoes to fill than I expected. In my first high school cross-country race, I finished 83rd out of 103 freshman runners. The difference in caliber of my running abilities compared to that of my dad's only became more evident as the season progressed. Though never said, it was clear that the expectations of coaches and teammates would be that I would display the same natural talent that my father possessed. My lack of natural athletic ability and the burden of others' expectations drove me to contemplate quitting the sport. However, my dad's mantra of always giving my best prevented me from turning in my running shoes. I didn't quit. I persevered. And in the process, I steadily improved. As I continued to focus my efforts on personal improvement, the expectations of coaches and teammates faded into the background, and I began to reap the rewards of my hard work. By the end of my sophomore, junior, and senior years, I had won the award for the most improved runner. I was beginning to step out of my father's shadow and fully embrace a new paradigm of success. Success was no longer measured by comparing myself to my dad. It was in celebrating those small victories with each improvement I made. When I crossed the finish line in 10 minutes and 19 seconds, I was more successful than I could have ever imagined. I had given my best and had run my best time. But more importantly, I had not sacrificed the gift. The gift is life itself, and we can choose to go after life with gusto or take the path of least resistance. Like running, life is only as rewarding as the effort you put into it. Giving your all doesn't mean you are always the first to cross the finish line, nor does it mean you will always accomplish your goals. Rather, it is the intrinsic reward of knowing that you have lived life to its fullest that I have found is the ultimate reward.